In the first step, I complete the patient's file card with the name of the dentist, patient, and technician. I confirm with OK and then specify the indications. It is an individual restoration veneer, and we design the veneer using the wax-up, i.e. the biogeneric copy. I click on the relevant restorations, select the milling device and the material to be milled, Feldspathic Ceramics Polychromatic, and confirm by pressing OK. I then focus on scanning. I have scanned the preparation in the upper jaw, and you can see here the two anterior tooth veneers, lower jaw antagonists, buccal scan for registration of the restorations. Add to catalog. I have scanned my wax-up in the BioCopy upper jaw and also added a fifth scan with the upper jaw gingival mask by scanning my gingival mask prior to sawing of the model. This allows me to design my emergence profile properly at a later date. Once the scans are complete, I go to model mode. The first step is registration of the upper and lower jaws. If the buccal scan is rotated through 180 degrees, I click on the bottom of it, i.e. on the lower half, and move it upwards using drag and drop. This causes the buccal scan to turn round, and I can register both jaws. I can now check my model contacts using the analysis tool and see whether these correspond to the articulator. I then go to Model Axis setting. Here, I perform the mesial and distal alignment along all three axes and also specify the midline before confirming with OK. I then determine the preparation margin for 11 and double-click to start. If the preparation margin is not clearly visible, enter this manually or show the intensity image to display the preparation margins more clearly. And switch back to automatic for the automatic mode. Double-click to end. I now have the opportunity to correct my preparation margin. Double-click to start, double-click to end. I determine the insertion axis of my veneer. The slightly undercut areas are visible here, and I therefore change the insertion axis on my crosshairs. I now have the insertion axis for the veneer and confirm with OK. I then specify the copying line. This is proposed by the software and can be changed as required. Double-click to start, double-click to end, and everything within this white line is copied one-to-one onto my preparation. I do the same on 21. Double-click to start the preparation. Spacebar to change between automatic and manual. Double-click to end. Check the preparation line. Determine the insertion axis correct again on the crosshairs, confirm with OK. I then determine the copying line, the first proposal from the software for the copying line. The copying line should be within the wax-up and not on the preparation. I then again have the chance to view my wax-up. I can show my upper jaw and also simply render my wax-up translucent here. The end of the preparation and wax-up is here. I now change to parameter mode, where I determine the spacer for my veneer and the veneer thickness, margin reinforcement, and the milling radius correction, removal of undercuts. I confirm with OK, and am given an initial proposal for my veneers. Everything below the copying line is now completed by biogenerics through to the preparation. In this stage, you can see 2 copied veneers on my preparation and an open midline. I can now change my restoration. Yet, if I change one veneer, then the 2 are no longer symmetrical. I therefore firstly activate the grouping tool. Group, activate tooth 11, both are now highlighted white, and I can now ensure that the design is symmetrical. I can now close my midline and design it symmetrically with my automatic form tool. This is only ever done on one tooth at a time in a circular motion. And I can also change the alignment or emergence profile somewhat. To get a better view of my emergence profile, I have scanned in the gingival mask. And can now build up more pressure or close the interdental spaces. Reduce the form to create a better shape. I now check my proximal contacts as I determined the anatomy beforehand on the wax-up. I trim the model, deactivate grouping, and do this using my smoothing tool, both on tooth 21 and 11 to achieve an even and flat proximal contact. I can then move the veneer if so desired. For this, I deactivate trimming, and then regroup my restorations and can then extend or reduce the length of the veneers via the position tool. I view this in its entirety with the lower jaw. I go to Display, Lower Jaw, and, as stated, I again have the option of extending or reducing the length of the veneers, and then I click on Mill. I can now position the restoration in the polychromatic block. If I place the sprue location mesially, I can rotate the veneer in the block via Block Rotate Position in order to change the various shades of my restoration, and via Position, I can render the veneer either more translucent or more opaque. In the final step, I give the mill command and can mill my veneer.